2-minute summary video of everything that we were talking about in class in Geometry Concepts A about splitting angles. Now, we talked a little bit on Monday or Tuesday, depending on whether you're in A day or B day, about when you have angles that are split up into pieces. If you add up all the pieces, you get the whole. Now, what I have here is a straight line that has been split up into two angles. What you're going to be looking at today is if I give you one of the angle measurements and ask you to find the second one, can you do that? Well, looking at this and knowing that this is a line, a straight line has a measurement of 180 degrees. So 180 minus the 150 that's spoken for equals 30. So x is going to equal 30 degrees. Okay? So that's a big part of what you're doing today. Keep in mind that linear angles do not always have to look like that line. Sometimes they'll be straight up and down. So something like this. Well, then I ask you to find x like that. Okay? Be aware that whenever you see a line that is split up, you've got linear angles. The other big term that you need to be aware of is a bisector. Bisectors take angles and split them into two congruent pieces. Congruency is something that we talked about a lot in the last lesson, so that both of these two are going to be equal. They do the same things to segments. Bisectors cut segments into two congruent pieces. The last term that's super important that you absolutely have to make sure that you're familiar with is vertical angles. Remember, we talked about a vertex, which is where the two lines intersect. This is the vertex. Vertical angles are those angles that are on the opposite sides of linear intersections. So on the opposite sides, these two will be congruent and these two will be congruent. And because that's a line, we also have linear angles. So when given just one of these angles, you'll be able to solve for the other three. And I'll see you online.